that flexibility and diversity go hand in hand, which is great in theory and clearly in practice. But I know, coming from traditional structures, as most of us do, it's a very scary proposition in terms of the bottom line. Can I ask each of you for your opinion on, say, time billing, how you can make that work, or do we have to abandon that and go to different systems? So, Frank, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, so as accountants, time billing has been our tradition, but I think there's an underlying shift towards value billing, and it's really understanding what value we're delivering to our clients and billing accordingly. Some of our compliance work, if you like, in this day and age is a given, and our clients don't like to be billed on a traditional time billing system in that regard. It's usually a set fee, but where they see the value from us is in terms of our advisory practice and our strategic advice and our growth plans and business plans that we help set up with our clients. So it's then striking a value and being able to bill accordingly.
And in terms of the control aspect, I mean, clearly there's a lot of trust, obviously, in engaging staff and giving them the control over the work they do. But how do you harness that? How do you make it work for your organisations and the bottom line, but still giving them that trust and that room to manoeuvre? Anita or Jodie or Frank?
Well, let me start with the whole billable hour concept. I think clients are now demanding flexibility in terms of how they actually purchase legal services. I think one of the challenges that traditional professional services firms face is how they can actually adapt to that. Fixed fee billing, value billing is obviously part and parcel of that. But I think from our perspective, it is slow to change. I actually think there is room in the market for hourly billing still. We have a number of examples when we're talking to clients. Clients will use traditional law firms for the high-level strategic advice, and that will be based on hourly billing. And then what they will do is come to us so we can put a lawyer on the ground with the client who will then work with that law firm. So I certainly think there's room for it. Our model and our business has been very successful in challenging the billable hour. I think in part it has been detrimental, but the reality is it's not going away anytime soon. So I think that all the new law firms, the traditional law firms, actually need to work together to adapt to the new demands that the clients have.
Jodie?
I'm looking at Paddy Oliver over there, who's very passionate about this issue. Our experience has actually been quite different. We believe the market is ready and we only do value billing unless the client requires us to do an hourly rate. We actually have not found that we've had any resistance whatsoever. So we had, I think in the early days of every new client coming on board, they ask us to do hourly rates, and usually we say that we will do that, but this is the fixed rate that we will charge, or we will do two matters at the same time, one on a fixed and one on an hourly. But honestly, every client moves to fixed rates within a minute because they get better value for it and they like the certainty of it. So it's actually, we expected a journey, we expected that there would be an education process with the clients, but we haven't had that. We found that they actually, all bar a couple, are really, really happy with the fixed price. In terms of how it affects flexibility, we believe that clients value outcomes and we focus on that. So we talk all the time about what the deliverables are, and there's a whole debate that we can have around how you measure the deliverables and how you scope a matter and all sorts of bits and pieces, which I don't think this is all about. But that's very much our focus, and in focusing on the deliverables and the outcome, it means that we can add the flexibility to our workforce, because they're not being measured by the number of hours that they're putting into something. They can be super efficient. They can be really smart in 6 minutes or 6 hours. I don't really mind, so long as they get the outcome for the client.